This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
How many times can I say this? With a dear friend, winemaker at AXR, Jean.
Seriously, it's been 20 years.
You know, with all the names I have to pronounce, give me a break. I'm with our dear friend, Jean Hoefliger.
Still not. All right, try again.
Jean Hoefliger.
Hoefliger. There you go.
Hoefliger.
It only took you 20 years.
I never got the huff part.
Well,
this is great to see you, man. How you doing?
pretty good. Things were good. It was really special in 2021 to have a harvest with no major disaster, fires, rains, any drama. Yes, it was a low yield year overall, but a really high quality. So I was really happy to make wine again. I'm actually all over the place. I am in Italy, in Spain, in Washington State, in Texas, in Sonoma, in Napa. Come in! Don, please join us.
We need an extension cord.
Oh, no problem at all. This is the owner actually of AXR, the guy that signs my paycheck, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to be nice to him, or I'm fired.
Yeah, we don't want.
And he's looking for a raise.
You come down a little bit further. There we go. Couldn't see it. All the way down. There we go. Got him.
Yeah.
You can go through it anytime. Sorry. He still doesn't know how to pronounce my name. It's really an intellectual stimulation. It's a way to understand different terroir, different climate, different people, different culture. And ultimately, it makes me learn faster. When I started getting and accumulating more clients, I actually did it because as a winemaker, you have one shot per year at making wine. So it's really a question of learning fast. So when I, for example, started Alpha Omega, I already had clients. Actually, I actually came in the negotiation with Alpha Omega. I'm coming with 2 or 3 other clients already at that time, one in Italy, Montevero. And the thing was absolutely clear that I wanted to learn faster, more.
Sure.
Because I don't believe in perfection. It's always about making sure to improve. And that's what I enjoy. It's not about ratings. It's about, the pleasures of others. And really, technically, how do you keep on getting better? Because Texas is the hot topic for me. It's something where I think I'm going to personally invest in Texas, and the reason for that because it looks like Napa 30 years ago, with the same energy, with the same resources. If you look at the High Plains in Fredericksburg, it's a 4-hour drive for 30 million people. So why would it not work? So then it becomes technically, what do you do technically to make great wine in Texas, and the challenge in Texas is really that the growing season is fairly small. It gets hot, and so your sugar accumulation is very fast. So how do you delay that to ensure that you ripen polyphenols? Mainly that's the biggest challenge. And I enjoy the culture. I love the Texas pride. They have a real true identity, and they are really proud of it. And I think when you have such a situation, it usually gives good results. I'm at Chateau Saint Michel,
okay.
So helping Katie and Juan with the wines and the high-end wines, especially up there. It's a blessing. There you go. Here's another equation, Ray. You through your interviews of different people, different history, different emotion. Me through wine. You go to Washington, most of the vines are own-rooted, right? Because of the soil and not having phylloxera issues and so on and so on. Again, the equation is so different up there than it is anywhere else that I work, that it exposed me to a very different equation. And I just grow. And I think when you're asked to be working for somebody, to make wine for somebody, to consult for somebody, it has to bring you something as well. And every single people that I work for and with today brings me something. in the form of intellectual interest, in the form of friendship, in the form of any type of emotion. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh, there's plenty. I started making sparkling now, in even champagne. Denali Estate, and we make champagne in Champagne, which is kind of fun. But to answer your question, is there a wine that? Yeah, I would love to work in Bordeaux again. That's a region, South America maybe one day. As far as a strict varietal, I would love to make Chasselas again. I work a little bit in Switzerland on certain Chasselas, but I would love to be really active on Chasselas because it's a varietal of my heart, and it's a varietal with a lot of freshness, tension, and acidity. Yeah, there's always, because like every time you challenge yourself, I don't believe in perfection, and I believe in progress and constant, and that's where the intellectual interest is. So when you have a mindset like that, you always try things. When you try things, in order to progress, you have to try things. In order to try things, you're going to have to fail, and your failures will actually take you to greater successes. And so there's some things like ultrasound perforing device that you actually have your grapes go through an ultrasound that actually creates thousands of holes in the skins to extract more color. That worked really, really well, but to a point where the wine was black. Wow. Oily black, yeah. So that the market would not understand that. So it's great, but it's not something that you could use ultimately, right? On the other side, for the last 10, 15 years, I worked on polymerization. So how do you attach tannins with one another with color components and sugar to make the mouth feel a little bit rounder in wine? And I went to an extreme analyzed, clearly by a lab, because you had Napa, at a certain level, and 10 stories higher, you had these wines. So the polymerization factor worked really well to a level that I can almost overdo it if wanted, but we know how to control that. So that would be a big success. That'd be cool. Or barrel fermentation, obviously. Yeah, quite a bit. I do about 1,000 barrel every year of barrel fermentation because it helps with polymerization. It also helps with wood integration, which I like quite a bit. So, I started in 2001, and all through Alpha Omega, we made barrel fermentation fairly famous. We were the first one to do it, and so yeah, it's definitely one of the tools that I use. It's very labor intensive. Of course, there's the cost of the barrel. There's the labor, because for a 5-ton stainless steel fermenter, which becomes one lot, right, that you do pump overs on, it's equivalent of 25 barrels. So when you have to go and do an operation, 5 times a day on one tank, okay. But when you have to do an operation 5 times a day on 25 barrels equivalent, it becomes a challenge. It's funny that you say that, because I'm a trained public speaker. I was really shy, but in the US, you do not have the luxury of being a winemaker and be shy, because you have so many public appearances, so many contact with the press, with consumers, so you become the face of the brand, so you don't have that luxury. So I had to train myself into that. But it's true that I love people, so it made it easy. Yeah, there's a few questions in my career, including one that for me is close to my heart is do you think that your mother's alcoholism in your childhood pushed you to become a winemaker? And for me, it's a very interesting. My mom has been sober for 38 years now. She was drinking alcoholic when I was growing up, and it for sure gave me the ability to control drinking extremely seriously, because I know the danger, because I was exposed to it. So I'm fairly careful. And honestly, in this industry, often people drink too much, too often, and so it's something that I learned to detect and to, in a way, rationalize. I taste an average of 50 wines per day, 7 days a week, all year long. So So I have to be conscious of that of course when you taste you spit, but I have to apply certain very strict rules in my life, including not drinking at work. I don't drink during the week if I'm not entertaining somebody. It's water at home, and so et cetera, to make sure that everything stays in balance because it's important. And yeah, that these type of questions were questions that really kind of made me think and more than once about my answer. Thank you for having me. Could you make sure you pronounce my last name again?
Jean Frankincense.
Yeah, exactly. Really good. Thank you, Ray.